Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to ETS2. It has been so long since the last ETS2 episode, I know. But we all know that ETS has been the highlight of 2020 anyway, so I guess you guys would understand, right? I know plenty of you have been stuck in ATS, but now I think it's time to step back a bit and enjoy a bit of European trucking. We have Frosty Mod enabled now, updated for 139. Thanks a lot to Grimes for updating it. So now we can drive on with winter feels. Truck I'm using right now is the MP2 Black Edition by Dotec. It has been updated for 139 as well. And the sounds are from RJ Productions, which are basically a remix of the SCS default sounds, but so the files themselves, the sounds themselves are from SCS, but remixed into something more pleasant to the ears. Let's put it like that. And it is compatible right off the bat with this truck. So as always, mods list link in the video description, and there are more details in the video description for those who are looking for more. In terms of map combo, of mod combos, as you can see, Frosty Mod is all over the place, but as you can probably tell as well, the skies look different because the skies are actually from Naturalux. The skies are NL. And there's a bit of mod combination that's going on here. Frosty Mod at the bottom in the load order, and then NL on top basically. And I didn't have to modify any files. And as a result, we get Frosty Mod textures, we get Frosty Mod winter vibes, but the skies are still as beautiful as ever, not too gloomy. Although I think one of the side effects is it doesn't snow. So if that's a deal breaker for you, this combo might not work. We'll see. Yeah, but I think that overrides the snow. But I was a bit sad with the real winter, the full-on Frosty Mod vibes for me was a bit too gloomy. I mean, here the sky is a bit dark already, but in winter it's even gloomier in Frosty Mod, which is pretty realistic, I understand, but we can afford to have some level of creativity, right? Some form of release or escape from reality. So just keep the good parts in, throw the bad parts out. Also, another side effect is the temperature. You can see the temperature right below the clock where the RPM is 18 degrees Celsius. Probably not right with winter like this. So not the perfect temperature either. That's a side effect because I learned as I was going through the files of the mod that the skyboxes are directly linked. The climate files are directly linked with the temperature. So the climate files control both the temperature and the skyboxes. So if you change the skyboxes, the temperature goes along with it. And that means if you want NL skies, you'll have to deal with NL temperatures as well, which is basically summer. And there is no quick way to change them because each skybox has its own temperature range, something like this. So if you have like 50 skyboxes, you change 50 or even more even, I think. Yeah, even more probably. Anyway, it's nice to be driving along again in the roads here in Germany specifically. Let's have a look at the route. I haven't actually shown you that yet. So we are starting from Hamburg. We're going on the 24 headed east, crossing over to Poland towards, what is this place? There is a city here which I can't see the name. But yeah, it's a small town to the right of Stettin. Is that how you pronounce it? I forgot already. But yeah, it should be a quick drive on the Autobahn, and I specifically decided to go on the Autobahn because of the recently released blog post. Starogard, that's where we're going, Starogard. Sounds still German, doesn't it? Okay, looks like we should be on the right side as we are going on that loop-de-loop there. Probably not the technical term, but you get it. I did miss driving in Europe though. Definitely a different feel when you're driving in the roads in the US. Although 2020 has been for sure the year of ETS. All the updates. I remember we were trying to enumerate all of those cool things. 2 DLCs, 2 map DLCs, 2 new trucks, was it? So many updates. Yeah, it's definitely the year of ETS. And ETS2 is looks like it's cooking some things up for 2021. Hopefully 2021 ETS2 will make a comeback. Oh, look at that, beautiful Frosty Mod with NL skies. Perfect. Like a perfect great morning in winter. It's not too far-fetched, is it? Yeah, I like it. So a few updates. I am speeding. Oh, I didn't notice. My bad. Slow down here a bit before someone else catches me. Come on. Just letting it bleed off naturally. 80 kilometers per hour. That's close enough. There you go. So a few updates on my end aside from the mods. So I mentioned the mods already. Oh, I love the roads. Beautiful looking roads here. I like this. This combo is perfect. Just ignore the temperature and you're golden. And the snow. So yeah, and the mods I think I mentioned already. Other updates on my end. I got my new SSD now. So a couple of weeks ago. When was it? Oh, I think, yeah, the Black Friday sale. I was looking around and I was getting frustrated by having so limited hard drive space. I still call it hard drive space, even though I mostly use SSD nowadays. So I was fairly limited in space. And at the end of it all, I only had 3 games or simulators installed. ATS, ETS2, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Everything else I had to uninstall because I had such limited space. Because I had too many other files. I had to give enough space for video recording and stuff like that. So yeah, it was proving very limiting. So whenever I wanted to join some of the other guys when they're multiplayer sessions, I had to like uninstall one game, install another one, and then uninstall it right after. It was just a pain, you know, and it was limiting me. And it was such a shame because, I mean, recently I was lucky enough to get a 3080, right? And upgraded my RAM, so my rig is pretty powerful considering. The CPU is no pushover either, 3700X. So it's a great rig and it's so capable. But I've never tried like even playing a ray tracing game on it. Because all I've been playing is ATS, ETS2, and Flight Simulator. So it was such a shame. Like I wasn't tapping it to its fullest potential. And I couldn't because I didn't have any space. So I found an SSD on sale. I found specifically a 970, Samsung 970 Evo Plus. Yeah, it's an M.2 NVMe. Those small like chips that small as possible, small form factor that you can actually use on laptops, I think. One second. It didn't have the physics enabled for the winter, so that should be safe for me. Okay, looking good. So yeah, I ordered it. It came from the US though, so I had to wait for like a week before it got into stock. And I had to wait like 2 more weeks for it to get shipped. But finally it arrived a couple of days ago. And I couldn't just install it right there and then though. I was telling the guys over in Discord. Because it was tricky. My motherboard is fairly old and fairly, how do you say, like a starter edition, you know, like the bare bones motherboard. So it only has like one M.2 slot for NVMe, and the slot is right behind the GPU. And you guys know, if you've seen the 3080 video I released a couple of months, wow, has it been months ago? The challenges I've had then, and you know, I'm not really good at hardware, so I was pretty scared having to, like, that I had to disassemble and reassemble stuff, you know. Even though it sounds so basic, I was a bit scared of it. So I waited until the weekend. I saved my entire morning for it. And yeah, when morning came, I got up, got my screwdriver, disassembled, removed the cables, removed the GPU, plugged in the M.2 SSD, and hoped that it worked. And it did. So everything was smooth, thankfully. Phew. So yeah, it works as advertised. It's a bit hotter than usual, but nothing too hot to cause throttling or anything. The airflow is not the best, but it's manageable. So I'm monitoring the temperature of the SSD because these M.2 SSDs are a bit hotter than their how do you call it? SATA? No, the 2.5 inch counterparts. You know, because it's a bit confusing. M.2 is the form factor, so M.2 versus 2.5 inch, I think, is the form factor difference. You know, those SSDs that are rectangular, that are like more box type, those are the more standard ones. M.2 is like just like the chip itself. And then NVMe is the, what they call, the speed or the connection. So NVMe versus SATA. So M.2 versus 2.5 inch, and NVMe versus SATA. So it's an M.2 NVMe because there's like an M.2 SATA. Anyway, getting into too much of the weeds. So yeah, these M.2 guys are a bit hotter than their 2.5 inch counterparts, I think. Or is it the NVMe that's hotter? Because they're faster, much faster. And I did the benchmark, it was working fine. So that's great to see. And the temps weren't shooting out of proportion so much. So I went ahead and transferred my files. So most of my games, actually all of my games, are in the new SSD now, including this one we're driving with. So everything, all the mods, my documents folder is in there. So all the mods are there, all the Steam game files are there, even the NL files are there, the Naturalux files. So hopefully it is faster. I don't think I will really notice anything much because like the normal it is much faster in terms of the numbers, but in terms of gaming you don't really notice these things. Like maybe it's like, I don't know, if for example it loads up in 7 seconds, it will load at 5 seconds or something like that. So it's not that dramatic. My hope is it will further lessen the stutters. You know, when like a huge skybox is loaded, you get that stutter, or when AI loads, you get a huge stutter. I'm hoping that it alleviates some of that if there is no bottleneck, or there is much less bottleneck on the reading the storage part. Then hopefully that makes the experience smoother. Well, on my end, I am seeing things very smooth. I'm not sure if the SSD has anything to do with that, but I'm happy with it nonetheless. Hopefully on your end it is as smooth as well. Let me know if you encounter hiccups, okay? But yeah, so this is formally my first recording in the new SSD. Even the recording itself is being saved on that new SSD, because I figured why not use the fastest drive with the recording. So manipulating that file later on will be much faster as well. If I have to edit it, if I have to modify it, yeah, saving over that and loading it up will give me least amount of resistance, so to speak. So yeah, in addition to speeding up the games, I should have not really unlimited, but I should have plenty of space to try out other games. And in line with that, perfect timing, Cyberpunk just came out. And I was not a fan until that release day itself. I remember I was dropping by, ooh, super white. This is where NL's problem could be happening, because NL has known to be extra bright at times. But couple that super brightness with the super white snow, then you get that blinding effect. Although I guess in some cases it is quite realistic, because like in the middle of the day, if you have such a clear sky, the sun just shining through, the snow will really be a bit blinding. I would imagine you would have to put your sunglasses on or something. Of course, I wouldn't be the expert on that. I wouldn't have real life experience on that, but I leave it to you guys. Anyway, so yeah, I was not a fan of Cyberpunk. I didn't even know what it was about. I knew it was like the biggest game ever, even bigger than Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I had zero interest whatsoever. I knew Keanu Reeves was going to be there as an NPC, but not much beyond that. And I was like, okay. Then I dropped by Jack's stream one day, that release day, and I was like, so anyone planning on buying it? And then we got to talking and we got to sharing stuff. And I checked it out and I was like, this would be the perfect benchmark for my rig. It is the most recent game that's going to be released. It does utilize all the RTX elements, the ray tracing, the DLSS, so it should really test my 3080, and it should test my rig as a whole and test this new SSD. So it's like, and even though I won't be able to feature this in the channel because it's too mature, very far away from the family-friendly content, and it's not a simulator at all, I figured, why not give myself a Christmas present? So I bought it. And yeah, I don't regret it one bit. My goodness, my system is being tested. And you can see immediately like the optimization that a AAA game gives. My goodness, it is in a whole totally different level. I mean, SCS is good, the good guys, they're great at the development stuff. Oh, that's a huge stutter right there. Okay, so apparently stutters are not out of the equation. It's just something we have to contend with. So yeah, the SCS is great with their development, their transparency, and I think I would call them a mid-sized developer. They're doing a great job. But compared with like the AAA studios, there is so much that the AAA studios can do with their manpower, with their industry knowledge and all that stuff. And you see it in the game. In Cyberpunk, everything is, let's say, optimized. I continue monitoring my CPU, GPU, my temps. All the threads are being used. My GPU is being put to its test, put to the limits, but I'm getting very good frame rates. I'm getting around 60 to 80 FPS on almost ultra settings for all of them. Ray tracing ultra and almost maxed out everything. So it's working great. And you see it in the graphics. You see the difference in the generation. Although ETS2 graphics, especially with mods, is no pushover, the ray tracing in the newest technologies is really something to behold. So it's a good market research, you could say. Playing Cyberpunk gave me a good perspective on what's out there, and it gives you a bit of understanding why other people are demanding from for example, from SCS and other developers, because they use those AAA studios as benchmark. If they can do this, why can't you? Stuff like that. Which is a fair point, but different priorities, different manpower, different kinds of games, so different focus. Like in Cyberpunk, for example, you spend a lot of your time inside cars, But the feeling inside cars is so fake. It's like you see it's really a camera that's just moving. Here, it feels really like you're in a truck, you're in a vehicle. The physics and the bouncing and the head bobbing, everything feels so natural. In Cyberpunk, it's super fake, you know, coming from being very familiar with these trucking games, with bus game simulators, going to an arcade-ish type game that doesn't really focus so much on the vehicle physics. It feels so different. And I know if you're like a hardcore simulator fan, you will be disappointed with the kind of physics there. But then again, yeah, that's exactly it. It's not really the focus. But it is a great game, and I'm enjoying playing it. I'll probably play it right after I record this one because the story is so immersive, and it's like it's like watching one of those series that you can't put down because each episode leaves you in a cliffhanger. Gives that same feeling. Very tricky. But yeah, it's an amazing game. Shame I can't show it to you guys, but I'm sure there are so many content creators out there already who are showing it. Not sure I can give much more to that experience. But yeah, if you have a rig that's capable of playing it, if you have a console, highly recommend it. Good. Awesome. So we have crossed over to Poland some time ago. Maybe I should turn off my lights, that will lessen the shininess. There you go. And so let me know if you are okay with this kind of combination, or if you prefer like the full Frosty mod. Skyboxes probably won't be as detailed, and it will be very gloomy. And the timing will be more wintry vibe. I don't like the winter timing, the sunrise and sunset, because it's too limited. Like sunrise is too late, sunset is too early. And yes, it is realistic, but I don't like it. And I like as much sunrise as much daytime as possible. So I'm trying to prolong it. So I have like summer sunrise and sunset here in this setup. So just the winter trees and winter roads, but everything else is summer. It's a bit of a mishmash. Service, the W, very Polish. Is this where we're delivering this? I think so. So yeah, hope you guys are okay with that little sharing. You guys enjoyed that little sharing session. It has been a while since we've done these kinds of videos. Looking forward to having you in the Convoy. In case you haven't heard of it yet, I'll announce it here again. 24th of December, 8 a.m. my time, local time in Singapore. That's the 23rd actually in the US. 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's, I think, for those in Europe, it's awkward. It's, I think, 1 a.m. CET and 12 midnight UK time. But yeah, I'll make more formal announcements. We'll do a convoy in ATS, and we'll see if the turnout is nice. Maybe we can do another convoy the following week. Maybe we can go for ETS2 that time, and then make it more friendly for our European friends. We'll see. Ooh, interesting parking. How the heck do you manage that? It looks like we'll have to reverse it in. Yikes, that doesn't look good. I wonder if this is ProMods or Poland rebuilding. I doubt this is standard SCS. Can barely see. Oh, wait a minute. I think we just go straight in here. Yeah, okay. I overestimated it. Don't really need to reverse it in. Looks like we just need to go straight in here. Straight in landing. Yeah, catch you guys on the convoy soon. keep in touch. We'll see. Might be nice to do a silent trucking on this truck as well. Kinda missed it. The sounds are no krish boom, but they're not bad. They're no pushover, thanks to RG Productions for remixing them. There we go. That actually worked. Easy peasy. Oh, that was a short episode. I was expecting that would take longer, but then the autobahn really helped a lot. Yeah, I wasn't even able to share anymore why we drove on the autobahn. But there was a blog post from SCS about the Germany reskin. That's coming with 1.40, so looking forward to the completion of Germany rebuilt from SCS then. Okay, so anyway, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. I'll make a silent trucking episode. I do enjoy driving more with this truck. Catch you guys on the next one. And Clumsy Trucking. Bye-bye. Waiting for your comments. See you soon.